Now, he's an amazing singer, a songwriter, and actor, winning 9 Grammys, a Golden Globe, and most recently, the Academy Award for his song Glory. Please welcome the one and only John Legend. Do you ever get tired of hearing that song?
No, not yet. I mean, I've had songs that are much older that I have to sing all the time. Glory is like 6 months old, so baby, I'm not tired of it at all.
It's such a great song.
Yes, thank you.
I have a feeling, you know, with the Academy Award win, you'll never get tired of hearing that song.
Well, no. I mean, it was one of the coolest moments in my career, one of the coolest moments in my life, so I'm very grateful for that moment.
One of the coolest moments in my career was being backstage at the Academy Awards and listening to you warm up right behind me. And it was such a thrill, and you just had a feeling that something
I'm a very loud warmer-upper.
It was great. Oh, yeah. It was gorgeous.
And that performance
was
amazing.
Gosh.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tears in the crowd.
Yeah, I saw all the photos afterwards. I was like, wow, a lot of people cried.
And around here is our Top Teacher Week.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious, did John Legend have a teacher or teachers who really made a difference in your life?
I had several great teachers. One of them was my English teacher, Mrs. Bodie, who really helped me learn how to write better and express myself and just feel like, you know, confident as not just as a writer, but as a communicator and a performer and everything. She was great. I had a great counselor named Mr. Dixon, who both of my parents didn't go to college, so I didn't have anybody directly in my life that I could ask, you know, about the process of getting ready for college. And he was a great counselor for me. So I had a few great people in my life, and I think everybody needs that in their classrooms, because teachers are really the key to making sure our kids are ready to be successful.
And you recently worked on raising a bunch of money for your high school, right?
Yes.
What was going on with your high school?
I just raised a bunch of money for my high school because we had just moved into a new building, and there was an old building that was still part of the buildings that we had in the city. We had the old high school, and it had this old auditorium that we wanted to use, but the state doesn't give any money for performing arts spaces.
That's right.
And so we had to independently raise the money, and so I decided I would raise the money by doing basically a raffle where the winner would win a performance by me at their wedding or bar mitzvah or birthday party or whatever. And we raised a bunch of money.
And you made a sample of what the
I made a rehearsal video.
And now we're going to take a look at this rehearsal video.
And I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections.
That was great.
Yes. So we did a fake wedding rehearsal with my dogs and put it on the internet.
That was beautiful. That was gorgeous.
We had fun with it.
Listen, we have to take a commercial break. We're going to find out about John's shocking, eye-opening project when we come back, so stick around.
2 years ago, it was segregated. You had a white prom and you had a black prom, and that was that. Nobody said anything about it. Like, after proms, we probably got together, but you could not have went to a white prom if you were black, and vice versa if it was them. I want to do it.
Of course, that's John Legend's documentary that you're the executive producer of called Southern Rights. And I remember this story.
Yes.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
It was in the New York Times, and actually the director of this film, Southern Rights, she was doing the photography for this story, and she went down there, and there was a county in Georgia, and they were having a black prom and a white prom every year. They had a black homecoming court and a white homecoming court every year, and you would think this was from 1950, but it was from
currently
2010,
wow.
2011, and so our filmmaker went down and wanted to film the aftermath of that when they finally integrated the prom. And what the film is not only looking at that story, but other issues that ended up coming up. There was a murder in the city that also brought up racial divisions and other issues that came up. A guy was trying to run for sheriff as the first black sheriff of the town. And all of these stories were happening at once as the prom was integrating. And that's what the film is about. And it's really beautifully done, a great story and a really interesting story. And it just talks about 21st century America, how we're still trying to get over
and you think, you know, they're so full of hope. They're going to be the ones that sort of change our society, you know, and they're still living in a segregated culture.
Yes, and the legacy of that segregation and racial division is still influencing their lives today.
Well, I'm glad you got involved and you're bringing this story out. Like you said, this is something that is modern day. It's not in the 1950s. And it is Southern on May 18th at 9 p.m.